Welcome back, everybody. Today is just an interesting mod. It was pretty cheap to do. I will leave all of the information in the description below. But as you can see here, normal blinking turn signal. Now swapped to dynamic turn signals for the mirrors. Install is not super hard, but I'm glad I did the passenger side first so that you guys don't make the same mistakes that I did and waste a bunch of time. Let's get into it. So before we get going about what's in the box, I need to send a shout out to Sir Nigel John on Instagram. His tag is SirNigel_718. He's the one who actually sent me the link to these right here. So it took a little while to get in. I'm pretty sure they're from China. But if everything goes okay, then everything works out. So what's in the box? Looks like we get 2 of the dynamic signals. I mean, they look relatively nice. It looks like all the pieces might match up pretty good. We'll know a little bit more once we get it put in. But looks like it also comes with a little pry tool. We'll see if we need that when we get into it. But fortunately, I have taken the mirrors off of my TT that I had before, the SQ5, and it's not really that bad. It is a little nerve-wracking popping the mirror itself out, but once that gets out, everything kind of runs a little smoother until we're done. So I'm probably going to do the passenger side first to get an idea of how this all goes and if these things even work, and then we will film the driver's side doing the install. I'm going to try to get as much of this in frame as possible because the most nerve-wracking part of dealing with the mirrors is actually removing the mirror. You don't want to break it, but it's not really that hard. You just have to get past that first little bit and you'll be okay. So the easiest way I found is some people use pry tools to get up underneath the bottom and kind of pry it. But I found that if you kind of push in the top corner, it moves this part out here. And then you're just going to get your fingers behind and you're going to start slowly pulling it out. And when you pull out, you're going to, at one point, you're just going to hear a little small pop sound. But just give it nice, even pressure as you're pulling, and it should be okay. Just don't go too fast. Get your fingers back in as far as you can and just kind of a little pressure, just like that. You'll feel it kind of break loose. Then just kind of go to the top, and then you can pull it straight down like this. Now once you have the mirror pop down, we need to take care of a few clips. We have these 2 here that are for the heated mirror, and then we have this other clip that is for, from my understanding, some of the mirrors. I'm not sure if it's every one of them, but at night they'll kind of darken a little bit, so in case headlights are pointed right in your mirrors, it won't be as bright. So sometimes with these clips here, you can just kind of wiggle them off, but you have to be careful because there is really only some glue that seems to be holding it on to. You'll have just, I've been putting my thumb on it and just kind of wiggling to get it to come off. Sometimes you might need to take like a little pry tool and put it underneath the bottom and just kind of lift up on each side, and it will eventually give in. And once that's off, Remember, it's black with purple went on the bottom and solid black went on the top. Not sure if it matters, but that's the way I'm going to keep it. And then if you just depress the little clip, and pull that out. There's your mirror. Set that to the side. Okay, next we need to work on getting this trim piece here off. So we have a little work to do. You're gonna need a T10 Torx, and we've got one there, one there, one there, one there, and one there. Total of 5. And once we get those out, we're gonna have to start kind of working our way around the top and the sides and the bottom in order to get it to pop loose. Now that we've got those 5 out, there's nothing else holding this trim piece on, so we just need to take it off. You can start by kind of grabbing the top and just pulling it just a little bit. You can start working it around, but thing is, right here inside this little area, there is a clip. If you take something like a little flathead, put it in there, push on it, it will take it off. And the clip I'm talking about is right here. It's a big long clip. Once that's off, we need to take off the blind spot indicator here. If you look on the inside, there is a clip on the top and a clip on the bottom. And you're just gonna press that one here up and this one down. And you're just gonna push it straight out the side. The cable that's connected to it isn't long enough to come all the way out, so you'll have to disconnect it while it's still in the housing, but it's not very hard. You can see it kind of pushes out that way. There's the clip. I've already depressed the back of it, so you're just gonna grab it and pull it off. Once the blind spot indicator is off, we're gonna start working on the cap itself. The one thing that's a little hidden is right there. So if we orient ourselves and come in, there is a T10 back there. We need to get that guy out because he does stay a little hidden. Does not look like a normal T10, even though it is. Now that we've got that T10 out of the way, we can start actually taking the cap. So we're gonna work from the outside, and you're just gonna kind of pull up. The little things here, right here, and right there, there are some clips, and you're gonna have to take your fingers and get in there, and you can just kind of squeeze them together. I don't know that you can make it out, but they are kind of locked on. So you need to get those loosened in order to pull the cap off. So if you start from the outside, push these first and kind of apply pressure back that way to pull it off the back, and then you'll feel it budge. And then you go to this one here. You just slowly kind of put pressure and push it towards the car, and it will come off. Here's the underside of that cap. So you can see there's the clips right there. And there's that, one of the T10s we took out that held it on. And that was just a little placeholder. It can be a little pain in the butt to get off at first, but just know that that one T10 and those clips are the only thing holding it on to the top. Now that we've got the top exposed, we need to get the signal out. So we're gonna have to take a little flathead and take this red clip and pull it back, and then you can take the yellow connector off, and then we have a T10 right inside there, and then another one right inside there. So let's get those taken care of. Okay, top is exposed. I've gone ahead and taken this little red tab and pulled it back the way we can pull the connector out. I've taken out the two. There's a T10 there and T10 there. And so now we just need to, get it out. I've already loosened this one up, but what you can do is you can grab the one you're replacing it with and orient it the same way that the stock one is, and you can get an idea of where clips are, because it just doesn't pull out. We've got a clip there, and then we've got another one right here, which can be seen. And once we get this guy, then just takes a little force and the others will pop. So when we look at it, it is right here. So you'll just put something there and pry that piece, and then it will pop out, and then you just kind of pull up. And I will tell you, when you get about right here, you just need to get your fingers a little bit closer down that groove, and it will eventually pop, but it does make a loud pow when it does it, so don't get freaked out. And then once there, you can pull it out, and there it is. From here, we're just going to kind of do the reverse. You need to take the blue cover off of the new indicators, and then we're just going to sit it down and line it up as easily as we can. And then you're just going to start slowly applying pressure. You'll hear all those clips start working in place from where the factory stuff was. And as you can see, it does line up very flush with OEM. That's in there. So take the yellow connector, plug it back in, push the red clip, and that new dynamic turn signal is installed. So now we're going to put the cap back on, put the trim back on the front, pop the mirror back in, and we should be good. All right, so we plugged the yellow connector back in on there. We put the other two T10s that were holding the blinker piece in place right there, and then the other one that's way back up in there. It's hard to see. So we put the cap back on. The thing you need to remember about the cap, take your time lining it up, and then if you start to feel pressure, just remember we've got these clips, and you have to be able to push past those clips. And if you just take your time, make sure it stays flush around the edges, you'll eventually feel it pop in place, and slowly just start pulling it in. And then once that part is in, then we can go ahead and get the blind spot indicator plugged back in, and we can go ahead and put that other T10 that we took out back in. Blind spot indicators back in, and we also have that T10 right there back in. And now we just need to put this fascia back on, and be the reverse. Just going to put it there, pop it right back in, and we have those 5 T10s that we need to use to put it back on. Okay, with the last of the T10s reinstalled, we need to go ahead and put our mirror back on. So like last time, we're going to take the clips, that one in, all the connections are made again. So now all we have to do is take these little angled pieces right here, and we're going to put them right here, and you're just going to push. Just line it up as much as you can, and then I just usually kind of go around just to make sure that everything feels nice and secure. And just like that, you have dynamic turn signals for your blinkers on your mirror. So there you have it. The mirrors are now sequential dynamic turn signal indicators, which looks pretty cool. You know, these literally cost, I think, around 20 bucks, maybe close to 30 shipped. I have a couple different people. The one I got was from some company called Jogon Automotive. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they're based out of China. Took me a little while to get them because I'd never heard any information back from them. And then when I inquired about it, they said, oh, we need your phone number. And so once I gave them that, they shipped it. and I got it. I've been sitting on these for a few weeks, just needing to have the time to do it. So like I said, pick these up for 20 bucks. There are some on eBay that you can get that were, I think, like 35. Honestly, don't know the difference between them because these look really good in my opinion. So I'll put all the information and links to where I got these down in the description, but there was no coating that needed to be done. I saw some mentions of that on some of the forums. There's no coating that needed to be done on these to get them to work. They just work straight out the box. Time will tell whether or not they will continue to work, so we'll keep an eye on it. But until then, you know, if you guys like this content, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Besides, not everybody mods SQ5s, and you know, when it's time to look up these little mods that everybody likes to do, it's always nice to have somebody who's done them to give you the idea on how to get it done easily. So until next time, guys, later.